Nice, I got in.
He just let us in. I just got into the meeting.
Sorry about that. My computer decided to go freaky when I turned it on, and it wasn't. I had to restart it, and it's just been a pain in the ass, but I got it. It's stressful.
7 minutes left, Boo. You got this. Last song. Hey, bye, Dad. Ooh. We're gonna drink water.
You have nails. What did you expect?
Well, the one that one has a hole in it. I tied it. The one by you over there.
Bro, you're so stupid. No, why would you let her do it knowing she has nails?
It wasn't gonna pop. I didn't stab
It wasn't
it.
gonna fall. The corners are going to pop. Corners are going to pop. Wonderful. Guess I was looking at me napkins versus just everything. Just everything.
Time to get a new computer. Come on.
Go potty, buddy.
You can do it.
Okay. Does everybody see the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Okay, finally.
You okay?
Okay, this is where I think we left off. If not, there'll be a little bit of review. Just to let you know, those that missed the previous one or wanted, I forget, was it last time? Anyway, I'm working on uploading files of the recordings. I'll let you know.
Huh?
Huh? What? Hey, you turn that off, tell them to shut up. I don't want to hear that.
Is this live?
No.
Okay, learning to love yourself. Why we talk about that in this class is because it's the first step to having a good relationship. If you know, as they say, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else? And that's totally true. Absolutely. If you don't give a shit about yourself, then whoever you get involved with won't either. You'll allow them to treat you like you're worthless and you don't care. If you love yourself, you won't put up with that and you'll be with somebody who really loves you. Now, loving yourself is a very vague term, a phrase. You love yourself. Yeah, right. What's that mean? You know, how do you do that? No one teaches us that.
Sorry.
So I want to bring it down to a pragmatic level of what it means to love yourself.
You can do it however long you want. I'm going to put you on a...
Do you want to talk or you want me to talk? Whoever that is, I can't tell.
Nicole, can you please mute yourself, please?
Oh, you know who it is. Okay. So the term is very vague. Now, some people say to love yourself means to respect yourself. Now, what does that mean? Respect yourself. How do you do that? Some people say you need to accept yourself. Okay, that sounds good, but how do you do that? So these terms, are really kind of vague. And I am, trying to make it real. That's the idea. So, no vagueness, no psychobabble. But learning to love yourself in our culture is a hell of a challenge. I mean, because we're not taught to do it, and it's not really encouraged in a way. Because when you love yourself, people can't manipulate you as well. They can't use you, so they don't like to encourage that. And they basically want you to adapt and do what they want, which, works for them, doesn't work for you. And there's nothing natural about it. It's about learning. It's about understanding the stuff. Because some people say, well, you just naturally do it. No, nothing natural, learned. So the first point I want to make about learning to love yourself, the key basic concept that I will go over and over again, and we're going to talk about, is that you validate and you acknowledge your own emotions. When you love yourself, your emotions matter. You give a damn about how you feel, not what you think. I'm not talking about what you think. I'm talking about what you feel. So let's define that, because that's going to be used in this class all semester. Emotions. What are emotions? Give me some. Give me
Anger.
some. Anger, yes, definitely anger. Okay.
Happy, sad,
Happy, sad. Keep going.
Lust.
Okay.
Jealousy.
Okay, jealousy is kind of a mixed bag. It's more of a condition. When you're jealous, what do you feel?
Envy.
No, that's a separate thing. That's a separate emotion. That's different than jealous.
anger, and resentment.
You feel anger and resentment when you're jealous?
Sometimes.
Okay. What else? What's the biggest thing there?
Insecure.
Insecure. You're afraid. Fear. Jealousy's got a lot of fear behind it. Okay. So do you notice something about everything you said about emotions? They're all one word descriptions. They're one word. Anger, sad, guilt, blah, blah, right? They're one word. Because when I ask people how they feel, they'll go, oh, I feel he shouldn't have done that. Or I feel that was stupid. You don't feel that. Those aren't emotions. What are they? When someone says, I feel they shouldn't have done that, what are they saying?
Those are thoughts.
It's a thought, exactly. And that's a totally different thing than what I'm talking about. There's thought and there's emotions. And emotions is a separate deal that is important, because a lot of people think they're talking about emotion and they're not. So keep that in mind. And one of the common things that people tell themselves, and maybe you've done that, is to tell yourself that you shouldn't feel whatever it is you feel. No, I shouldn't feel that way. I'm sure you've said that to yourself. Oh, I shouldn't let that bother me. Or, you say you shouldn't feel what you feel. Now, when you tell yourself that, what you're doing there is negating your emotions. You're discounting and validating your emotions. And when you do that, then that's how you're not loving yourself. So when someone else comes along and says, oh, well, you shouldn't let that bother you, you shouldn't feel that way, you buy into it. You buy into it, and they negate you. Now, if a lover tells you you shouldn't feel something, how are you going to react to that?
You'll question it.
You what?
You'll probably question your own feelings.
Right. But how does it, when they tell you that you shouldn't feel that way, what's your immediate emotional reaction to it?
Annoyed.
Angry.
And, right. You get pissed off. It's like, oh yeah. Okay. But when you allow someone, when you do it to yourself, then you put up with that. And that's how you get manipulated and all kinds of things. So I would suggest highly watching yourself, tell yourself you shouldn't feel something. So the key idea again is to respect and validate your own emotions, all your emotions, whatever they are. Because to me, as you'll learn, every emotion is good. I don't know any bad emotions. They're all good. I don't like some of them, but they're all good. They have a purpose. They have a value. And the more you listen to them, the better you'll be. You get that? Any questions about that? Okay, we'll revisit it, I'm sure. Another concept is you don't want to go against how you feel emotionally. So if you're uncomfortable with something, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do something you're not comfortable doing emotionally. You want to listen to it. And because if you go against how you feel, that's how you lose yourself, and you'll regret it. Okay? So you have to be comfortable. So emotions are the gateway or enable you to do something called set psychological boundaries, is another term, between you and another person. That's how you set a boundary is based on how you feel. Hello, what are you doing? So what are boundaries? Well, in politics or geography, that's a line between two countries. That's one type of boundary we hear about. We have the southern boundary between us and Mexico. And what happens when people don't respect boundaries politically?
War starts.
War starts, exactly. So if you don't respect the boundaries of a lover or someone you care about, or they don't respect yours, you're going to have, in a sense, a war. You're going to have a big conflict. So, that's the idea of what boundaries are about. So boundaries set the line. And how do you set the line between you and another person? Is based on emotions, not thought. You don't have to have 25 reasons why. You get that? And the more you can set boundaries between you and a person, this allows you to be intimate with them. You can get close to someone when you have confidence that you can set that boundary and say, wait a minute, stop. I'm not comfortable doing that. And you know that you can do that. Because without the boundaries idea, you can't get really intimate, because what will happen is you'll drown with that person. You'll drown in that relationship. People say, well, I lost myself. And I want to hang on to who I am. Well, the way you do that is by setting a boundary between you and another person. And remember, whatever you feel is a fact for you. They can't debate it, even if it doesn't make any sense, even if you think it's ridiculous. If you don't respect the boundary, the person says, no, Dan, I'm not really comfortable doing that. You don't respect that, it's going to wreck the relationship. You'll pay. And you don't have to have reasons to justify it. I'll say, well, why don't you want to do that? Well, I'm just not comfortable doing that. See, I'm not going to argue about whether my partner can be comfortable or not. If she's not comfortable, that's a given. I don't give a damn what the reasons are. But people like to argue. Oh, come on. Come on. No, I'm not comfortable with that. And if you do something where you go against feeling comfortable, you'll resent it. So there's a lot of this going on right now. I'll tell you, one of the big boundaries is people setting boundaries between each other because of the virus. People have a lot of fear about getting the virus. And so there are a lot of things they're not comfortable doing where other people are. So you have to respect that. This boundary business happens between you and your parents as well. It's not just, between lovers. Right now, my daughter's mother wants to come see her all the time in Los Angeles, and she just has a little kid, and my wife, she don't respect the virus very much down there, and it drives her nuts. She always wants to come over, but Michelle said, nope, can't come, I'm not comfortable. And then her mother goes off on her. How come? I want to see the baby, blah, blah, blah. Then they get in a fight, and then I hear about it. So I tell my kids, listen to how you feel. She's interested in her own selfish interest. That's all. Because if you love somebody, this is important. If you love somebody, why would you want them to do something they're not comfortable doing? Why would you want somebody you love to do something that they're not comfortable doing unless you're just out for your own interest? As bad as I want something, if my wife isn't comfortable doing it, I don't want her to do it. Because if she does it against how she feels, guess who's going to pay for that? I am. I'm going to be pissed off at me. I'm going to pay later. And I've learned that many times over because I like to get what I want. Who doesn't? But I don't want it if you're not comfortable doing it. And it could be the littlest thing or a big thing. You get that? Anybody have this experience that I'm talking about?
Yes.
What's it like?
Like when someone's kind of like not forcing you, trying to get you to do something that you're not comfortable with, and then, they don't understand it, that creates like a lot of tension between you and that person, and it can make it uncomfortable.
Totally, right. Now, just take what I'm saying and let's take it into the sexual context. How many people may not want to, first of all, be sexual? They're not comfortable doing it. How many, come on. If you love me, you do it. Come on. People don't respect boundaries in the bedroom either. And it wrecks the relationship. You don't feel safe. What were you going to say?
Especially if someone's maybe like not interested in it, but the other one is at the moment, and they pressure you.
Yeah, right. And you pressure someone sexually and they'll resist it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And why would you want your lover to do something sexually that they don't enjoy if you really love them? Think about that. Because a lot of people will think, oh, I'm being selfish or I'm not being nice, so I'll do what they want and make them happy. But you're throwing yourself under the bus in the process. You don't want to do that. Long term, that can be really damaging. So listen to how you feel. It's telling you something about yourself in the moment. I've had patients, a woman says, I wasn't comfortable walking down the aisle getting married. And I said, well, why didn't you listen to that? He said, well, I didn't want to, stop the wedding and all the people coming and, so make my parents unhappy and blah, blah, blah. And so you did it anyway. Oh yeah, we're getting divorced now. It's only been 6 months. See, it's just on and on. You get the idea. Listen. Same thing. In behavioral terms, if you're doing something that you're in conflict with emotionally, you don't want to do it until you're comfortable. And that might take you 3 months to get comfortable. There's no right or wrong on how long it takes to be what I would say, comfortable with something. and some people, well, it's been a month. You should know by now. Well, I don't know. I'm not comfortable yet. I'm not clear about doing it. When I get clear about it, then I'll let you know. But you're taking too damn long. I already know. I love to, they don't get it. So hold true, hold to that emotion on you. So people who want to manipulate, dominate, control, walk on you, use you, rip you off are people who don't give a shit about how you feel. That's a good way to spot them. They're more about getting what they want. And if you don't listen and respect how you feel, then you get run over and you get ripped off and taken advantage of. So what I like to say is that no one can dominate, control, use you, walk on you unless you let them. You have the power. Don't be the victim. Oh, they made me do it. They made you do it. Did they put a gun to your head? No. And where does your power come from?
Self-love.
It's too vague. Generally, that's overall concept, but on a pragmatic level, where does your power come from?
Being able to understand your own emotions and validating them.
Yes. Your emotions are your power. No one can take them away. So if you want to feel like you have power, that's it. And you don't have to argue and jump up and down and explain it and go through all that. Just say, I'm not comfortable. I'm crazy. Now, I used to use this in retail a lot. Another context. What would be an example? Well, I used to hate buying a car. I don't know if you do, but it used to be you going on a car lot, and the minute you walk on the car lot, they're all over you trying to get you to buy the car today. I used to hide so they wouldn't see me. I hated that. Hi, what can we do to get you to buy the car today? I said, back off, dude. Leave me alone. It's like, so what I would do is I said, you want me to buy the car today? Yeah. I said, well, if you want me to buy the car today, give me this price, these payments, these tires, sunroof, and I said, if you can do all that, then I'll buy the car today. And they go, well, that's ridiculous. No one's going to give you that kind of deal. Then I'm not buying the car today. All right, let me talk to the sales manager. All right, go ahead. Make me comfortable. I'll buy the car today. See, I take stuff back all the time. And I said, I'm not comfortable with this. What can we do to make you comfortable? Because they want my business. Nordstrom's is that's their marketing. Target, it's a whole nother story. They want you to be comfortable. That's what you got to remember. If they want your business, this isn't about love and intimacy. This is about business. They'll make you comfortable. And you don't have to argue as to why you're uncomfortable again. It just doesn't work for me. Well, we get you something else. Good. Anyway, you get that idea. That's a powerful concept there. Another reason or another thing that people use on this is that some people believe in order for your emotions to be valid, you have to know why you feel the way you do. They need the reasons, and they need those reasons because that's what they want to argue with. That's where arguments are all about. But you don't need to do that. I don't know why. Why don't you want to go to that party, Dan? I'm just not comfortable going. I don't know why. Well, you need to know why, because that's not fair. I go, I don't know. I'm not comfortable. When I figure it out, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, how about respecting how I feel if you love me? So that's what you got to watch out for. But you don't have to know why. Sometimes the reasons don't come to you till later. Oh, yeah, that's why I was uncomfortable. But at the time, I didn't know that. But it doesn't make the emotion any less valid. It's real. Okay. Oh yeah. So, and I give, I get in front of 400 people doing a seminar or a talk. I'm incredibly nervous in the beginning. Same is true on television. And people that know me, they'd say, "What are you nervous about? You've done it before. You're good. What you do, you're nervous. Why? You've given this talk many times." I go, "Yeah, it's true, but I'm still nervous." And then when I get on a television interview, they always get you there early. You sit and wait for an hour or so. And in that whole time, you're sitting in this green room and my nerves are going off the chart. I mean, it's like, I hate that waiting. And of course, they come up and say, "Do you need any more coffee? Or how about a sweet roll?" I'm wired enough. Don't give me that stuff. And I keep saying, "Don't be nervous. You've done this before." I lecture myself, doesn't do any good. And I get on camera and I'm like tight as can be. It's like, "Hi, how you doing?" And it's hard on television to get out of that. But the key thing is to say it's okay to be nervous. And usually what I do is somehow I'll tell the audience I'm nervous. I'll acknowledge the emotion. I'll say, "God, look at all these people, man, making me nervous." And they'll laugh, and then I feel a lot better and I relax. But if I try to pretend I'm not nervous at anything, you're uptight. You tense up. You don't do well. So it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be scared and you don't even know why. Oh, yeah. Here's an example of when I used power in retail. I mean, this is in a restaurant. I used to not love myself. Let's get that straight up front. I had terrible self-esteem in high school. I didn't love myself or shit. I was totally, okay, we'll get into reasons why for that. But so if I went into a restaurant and they gave me a table in the back by the dishes, I wouldn't say anything. I would say, "Okay." And I'd sit at the table and I'd be mad that I have a crappy table, but I wouldn't say anything. I just, throw myself under the bus again, under the table. And then I started recognizing, as I was becoming more awoke and I realized what I was doing, I started, applying what I'm teaching you right here. So now if I go into a restaurant and they give me a crappy table, you know what I say? The maitre d', I say, "No, I'm not really comfortable with this table. And this doesn't work for me. Is there anything else you got? It'd be great if I could get a different table." And they said, "Well, we got that one over by the window." "Well, that'd be awesome. I'd really feel good there." "All right, it'd be a few more minutes. No problem." See, I would never do that. I would never say, "Can I have something different?" I would sit there and be miserable. But when you love yourself, you don't put yourself in situations that you are uncomfortable in. You take care of yourself, just like you would a lover. Now, if they, what?
I have a question.
Yeah.
How would you say are key points of that you could say that you love yourself? Like, what are the key points that you could just like hint to yourself that is enough to love yourself?
Well, there's only one key point we're dealing with now. I'm not, okay? Do you know what it is?
Self-respect.
No, that's way too vague.
Your emotions?
Goes back to when you love yourself. I'll say it again. When you love yourself. Who is that? Can we do something about this with the mics? I don't want to hear what's going on in your house. I'm sure everybody else doesn't either. So when you love yourself, I'll say it again, you give a damn about how you feel. Your emotions are unequivocal. You don't debate them. It's how you feel. And it doesn't matter what other people think, what other people believe, how you should feel. It just is. That's a key thing to loving yourself. Now, an example I just gave, I use comfortable and uncomfortable, those two emotions a lot, because that has to do with how I set boundaries between me and other people or what I do. So when you love yourself, you're always like, are you okay emotionally with this? It doesn't mean you like everything all the time, but you're okay. You can live with it. You're not uncomfortable. You're not upset. Does that help you with that question?
Yeah, I did. Thank
It's
you.
where there's more to come. I just don't want to run down a list of all the things. So there's not just accepting your emotions. That's one big thing, but there's other things that we'll get to in different ways. All right. Okay, this is a video I like a lot. I think it will play, hopefully. So hopefully this will work. Not working. I don't hear nothing. You hear anything? No. Where's the mess? And I hit the sound. Mm-mm.
For. So stop looking for more unless you're looking.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Here we go.
You are who you've been looking for. So stop looking for more unless you're looking in a mirror, because it's about time for you to see clearly that you are who you've been looking for. And that empty feeling you got, that hole in your chest, you only got that feeling because you think you're not blessed with everything you need. You see, we live in a consumerist society, which means they need you to buy stuff. And the easiest way to sell it is to tell you you're not enough. Buy this car, you'll get girls. Buy this bra, you'll get guys. And we're seeing it so much that we start believing these lies, but the truth is, the makeup they're selling to make you feel prettier is the same makeup you buy to stop feeling shittier about this lie they keep telling you that you are not enough. And what about the movies we watch, all the shows on TV? The more I watch, the more I see I need you to complete me. And yes, love is the answer, love is the key, but if you can't love yourself, how could you ever love me? And loving yourself, what does that even mean? Like massages and selfies and that sort of thing? Because the more I think about it, the more it feels weird. I've always been taught that self-love was something to be feared. I've been taught that arrogance is bad and vanity, it's not good. And even my bracelets are telling me to act how Jesus would. So what should I do? How should I act? I'm supposed to love myself, but how do I even do that? Well, I got a trick that I picked up from a friend who noticed that I was quick to defend her when she would say something negative about herself. She would say, "I'm so dumb," and I'd say, "You're so brilliant." She'd say, "I'm so weak," and I'd say, "You're so resilient." And when she said, "I feel ugly," and I said, "You look beautiful," she asked me why I was so dutifully filling up her cup constantly and yet treating my own cup so irresponsibly. Because when I looked in the mirror, my voice was quite clear. You're ugly, you're too thin, your hairline's receding, you got a pimple on your chin. And that was when she gave me a piece of advice that changed my life. She gave me a hug. And she said, "Treat yourself like someone you loved. Treat yourself like someone you loved." Now, I had been standing, but I needed to be sitting because I couldn't believe that I had been letting myself keep forgetting that I was who I'd been looking for. And deep in my core, I knew it was time to stop looking for more until I could look through all my fear and look into a mirror and see clearly that the man looking back at me was the only one who can make me happy, and I am already enough. And I am not any more special or unique than you. That is why I'm here to speak to you. You are already enough. And when you start to see that, you will start to be that. Your world will get brighter, your load will get lighter, and you can see that with life, you can be a lover, not a fighter. And that life, you deserve it. Because you are worth it. And there is no point in letting yourself keep forgetting, because no matter what you say or do, you are perfect. And so today, I hope I leave you with a direction correction away from the flaws you see in your reflection. They aren't flaws to me, they are simply protection against all the doubts you have of your perfection. So start today. Take a good, long look in the mirror and say, I am who I've been looking for.
So like that?
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, we know that. Okay, stop.
Yeah, that was a really cool video.
Good. Okay.
What was that video called?
Good question. I forget there.
I think it was called How to Find the Perfect Relationship.
You are who you've been looking for. If you Google it, you'll come up with it.
Thank you.
Mhm. So let's go back to setting boundaries again. I want to be clear and define it. So once again, boundaries, psychological boundaries, physical boundaries allow you to be intimate with someone else. It's the key. That's why we talk about it in the sex class, because it allows you, without boundaries, you're going to be afraid of being intimate. And sex can be very intimate. So a lot of people throw the word around, but I'm not so sure they know what it means. So it keeps coming in and out of here. Right. Mark, come on. It's not working. So like we said, when people don't respect boundaries in politics or geography, they have war. And the same thing happens in intimate relationships. When people step over people's boundaries, they fight a lot. And then they try to avoid each other. So it's either you have a war going on in a relationship, you're arguing and fighting all the time, or you totally avoid each other. And neither of that works. So it starts with boundary setting. I'm sure you probably heard that when you with somebody and they suffocate you, you feel suffocated and you can't be yourself. Well, that all has to do with your inability to set boundaries, and you get run over, you get consumed, because what that tells me is you're not listening to how you feel. You're doing things most likely that you're not comfortable doing. And I'll say, so why do you do that? Why do you do that with him? And you know what they usually say?
Something like, because I love him or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah. You love him, but what about yourself? Usually what they say is, I don't want to hurt his feelings. I don't want to hurt her feelings.
Then that, does he love you back? Because if he did, he would not put you in a predicament like that to feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. He would say, oh, no problem. If you're uncomfortable, I got it. I'm disappointed. I don't like it, but hey, don't do it if you're not comfortable with it, because I don't want you to, resent me or the situation. So being able to say no to something that you're not comfortable with is the big thing. And we're going to talk about how to do that a lot more, but this is how you do it. No, I don't want to have oral sex. Oh, but if you love me, you do it. No, I'm not comfortable. Oh, come on. Comes up there a lot. No pun. Why aren't they working? There we go. So when you have that sense of the confidence, you can set boundaries, then you can let yourself go to a relationship. You can let go because you won't have the fear of losing yourself. Many people have that fear. If I get too close, I'll drown. And so their way of holding on to themselves is to not get too involved, and they keep up walls. But then the relationship doesn't work that way either. And one of the best metaphors I know, that I don't know if you can relate to this, is skiing. I don't know if you snowboard or ski, but when you go down a mountain and you're going super fast down a hill, you better make sure you know how to do one thing and you're confident in doing it. You know what it is?
Stop.
Exactly. You got to be able to stop, because if you can't stop, then you're going to go off the hill and kill yourself. So stopping in skiing is like setting a boundary on the mountain. So when I'm skiing down, I'm going real fast, and I start to go, oh shit, I feel like I'm going to lose control. I stop. I put on the brakes, and then I go, oh, that was fun. Let's do that again. And see, I have that confidence of stopping. But some people, they just fly off the mountain, or they don't even go down the hill. It takes them all day just to get down because they won't let go. And the thrill of skiing is that rush of letting go and getting it back. So confidence in your ability to set boundaries allows you to get close and to let go, fall in love, and all that. Sorry. There's boundaries in skiing. You see that? Put the edges in like that. So stop. And then you point them down again. And then you stop. And another metaphor is similar to skiing. People usually say they're afraid of falling in love. That idea of falling in love with somebody. It's like you're falling in love. It's like you're going off the mountain. Fall in love. And then you lose yourself. But when you have confidence in boundary setting, then you can fall in love, because you're only going to go so far if you're not comfortable. Anything that makes you uncomfortable, you're going to deal with. It's not either you're totally heads over heel falling in love with somebody, destined to fly off the mountain, and you're not just kind of staying back from people. So either way. It's another context. Yeah, there's a statement. How many women in this country are sexually involved with their partner when they don't want to be? Lots. And they may be very confident in setting boundaries in every other area of their life or in their relationship, but sexually, that's where women particularly have a sense of losing themselves. And they give in and they do stuff they don't want to do. So it's what happens when they do that. emotionally.
They don't love themselves, or like they stop loving themselves and respecting themselves.
Correct. But how do they feel when they're being involved sexually and they don't want to be? What's the emotion?
Nothing.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, but what happens when they do it and they're uncomfortable? How do they feel?
I think it makes it, yeah, disgusted, and it makes it feel like a drag. I'm sorry for.
Okay, they resent it. They develop a lot of resentment, and they resent sex, they resent their partner, they resent the whole thing because they're losing themselves and they're doing something repetitively that they don't want to be doing. So they turn off to being sexual. Let me do that. So watch out. When you lose yourself like that, to me, it's a prison. And a lot of people live in prisons psychologically that they create. But the good news is they have the key out if they can get to that understanding. It's not a life sentence. Definitely not. Doesn't have to be. Another place where boundaries are critical, and this is a little more, is with parents. Parents have a lot of times have real problems setting boundaries with their children because their self-esteem gets caught up in their approval rating. And so when being a good parent involves setting good, strong boundaries, but that doesn't mean your children are going to be all happy about it. But parents who need their kids' approval all the time, they will just let the kids do whatever, and there's no boundaries. It's all out of control, which isn't good for the kids because then they don't learn there's things you can and can't do. They think that just it's all, whatever you want to do. It's kind of chaotic. One example of this was a true story. Is that one of my daughters, after graduating high school, she wanted to go to Mexico, Cancun, and all her friends were going, and she wanted to go, and she said, "So, Dad, can I go?" And I said, "No, I'm not too comfortable with you going to Mexico. You're a minor. It's a foreign country. I don't know. It doesn't work for me." And then she got all pissed off and flipped out and, gave me a lot of grief. And she'd argue my reasons and thought I was stupid. "Oh, that's a stupid reason, Dad." And then she'd try to convince me to let her go. Like she'd say, "Well, I researched all the hospitals and they have American hospitals there." It's like, I don't even want you in the hospital. What are you telling me? I don't care if they're American or not. It doesn't work for me. Okay. But other people get to go and their parents let them. You've heard these kind of lines. We get that all the time. "Well, other kids get to go. I'll be lonely," whatever. Okay. I'm not comfortable. And so I said, "Listen, you may think my reasons are dumb and stupid, whatever. I'm not comfortable. But what I am comfortable with is if you want to go somewhere, go to Honolulu. You have friends that are going there as well." And so that's where she ended up going. I was comfortable. She got to go. It was a good deal. But if I would have said, "Okay, you can go to Mexico," and then something happened, then I'd be angry at myself for not listening to myself and how I felt. And so, with teenagers, you always need to be setting boundaries because they're always trying to crash through everything. And if you don't listen to yourself, you would a lot of times have regret and resentment. And so you work a deal. I'm not saying it's either my way or the highway. I'm just saying you've got to find something where both people are comfortable, which is conflict resolution, which is something we'll be talking about later. So that was another thing. She wanted to go to a concert at the Coliseum, big rock concert. And I said, "No, I'm not comfortable with you going with your friends driving there. You can take Bart, but I don't want you driving with these kids, all these kids going to Oakland and, and you're not knowing the place that well. Bart, that's dumb. I don't care. You want to go to the concert? Take Bart." So I gave options in a sense. And of course, that daughter that wanted to go to Mexico, she's now an attorney. And so she argues on behalf of the clients against the government. So she had that ability. It was pretty good. But in a relationship, it's not so good. Okay. Any other questions about that?
No.
Nope. Okay. Next topic. Next topic is this to me is like something I came to later in my career, because as a therapist, a marriage counselor, whatever, people in the media always like to know, they say, give me the 5 key things for successful relationships. What are the 5 things that make relationships good? And I would have my list, in my head that I'd always give, people who do this and this and this and that, and those were true. But I came to realize that there are 2 super important things that need to be there before anything else, before how you resolve conflicts or how do you communicate or how you have sex or any of that stuff. These are fundamental requirements. And for most of you, you're right at the point of your lives where hopefully you're working on developing these abilities that you can do these things before you get married, before you get into any serious relationships. You don't want to be doing the work to get these requirements met after the fact. It's possible, but it's a hell of a lot harder. So if you can get it done now before you're in a long-term committed relationship, that would be awesome, because too many people get involved seriously before they have the ability to do the 2 things I'm going to talk about. Okay. The first one is that you can take care of yourself financially in the adult world. You have the ability, you have the skill set to make money, to pay for the rent, pay the utilities, food. You know how to take care of yourself financially. I'm not talking, big fancy lifestyle. I'm just saying, you know how to survive in the adult world because you have the ability to make money. You could go to any city, get a job, you work, you got skills. Now, my assumption is that hopefully you're going to, college, and that you have longer term goals so that you'll be in a better position. You're positioning yourself now to be able to do this in a way that will be a lot better than working minimum wage if you didn't. You're trying to better yourself to get there. That's a good thing. So you're kind of a work in progress, I would think, financially. You don't need another adult for your own economic survival or the state. Okay, everybody understand all that?
Yes.
Good. Yeah, it's hard to survive economically on a minimum wage. It's poverty. The other thing that you can do or need to be able to do, have confidence in doing before, is that you can live alone emotionally. That you're not afraid to live alone in the adult world. That you can, get an apartment anywhere, set up shop, and you can live there by yourself or with a roommate, not a lover, roommate. You don't have to like this. I'm not saying it's like a lifestyle that you may like, but you can do it. If push comes to shove, you can do it. These are the 2 prerequisites or important requirements to be able to do and have confidence in doing before you ever get into a serious committed relationship. Okay? Does anybody know why?
If you can't do those things, you'll become way too dependent on your partner.
What do you mean by way too?
Like if you can't take care of yourself financially,
Mm-hmm.
and your partner kind of bridges that gap for you, you'll feel like you can't really set boundaries because of what they do for you financially.
Right.
Or you might feel like you can't like leave them if the relationship's not working out because maybe they're helping you financially or emotionally, so you'll feel stuck.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
hmm So either you'll be stuck financially if you can't do that, or you're stuck emotionally because you're afraid to leave. You're not there because you like it. You're there because you're afraid of change. So what it creates in psychological terms is a dependent relationship. And so many people get love and dependency mixed up. They say you love somebody, but I look at them and go, you love them? How do you love someone who treats you like that? That's not love. It's really dependency, but they call it love. So we got these words get they're mixed up, like to separate them. So you're right. So when these two requirements are not, developed in somebody, a dependent relationship is formed. Now, some people say, well, I thought, when you're married or you're with someone you love, you're dependent on them for things. No, you're not dependent. You don't ever want to be dependent if you can help it. Because love and intimacy do not mix with dependency between adults. Okay. Now, parent-child relationship, definitely. My kids were dependent on me for 18 years for everything. That's normal parent-child relationship. It's not an equal relationship. It's not a lover, intimate relationship. It's a parent-child relationship. And then the idea is to get them or have them become independent, and they don't need me for money or a place to live or any of that. And it's sad today because some parents don't want their kids to leave because of their own needs. And so they kind of handicap their adult kids from being out on their own. And that messes them up. I've seen that too many times. Now, it's okay to be dependent temporarily. What I mean by that is where, let's say, you have a full-time career, you're working, and then you get disabled, and then then you're dependent on your spouse or the state for the, support. But if your spouse leaves you, then you can take care of yourself because you have the ability to do that emotionally or financially. You don't want them to, but if they do, you're going to be okay. You're not going to be devastated and have this big, awful experience of abandonment and feel like you're a kid when you're 35 years old. That's dependency. And so how does being dependent affect a relationship, you might think?
I can put a toll on the other person if one person is too dependent on them.
What will it do?
Put a toll on them.
A toll?
Yeah, like affect them physically, emotionally.
Right. In a negative way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
It leads to a pretty significant power imbalance in the relationship.
Ooh. Power imbalance. I like that. Yeah. What's that mean? That's good. What's a power imbalance?
So the person who is more dependent on their partner, they have less power in the relationship. And so they may feel like they can't set boundaries or do what they want to do with their own freedom, even though they are an adult.
Right. So they give up their power because of their dependency. Yeah.
And the one who does have the power is kind of just like dragging the other partner along because like they're supposed to be leveling up together, but
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up there, but I kind of get what you said. Here's the key thing. When an adult is dependent on the other adult, they develop tons of resentment towards that person. Because when an adult is dependent, that puts them in a child position, and they'll resent the hell out of it. And that resentment just, eats at the relationship in all kinds of ways. That's the biggest impact of that. It poisons any love that they might have shared. The resentment takes over and it comes out. Now, you probably heard of a hate-love relationship. People say, well, we have a hate-love relationship. Ever hear that?
Yeah.
Yes.
See, I've never seen a hate-love
All the
relationship.
time.
Huh? See, I've never seen one. What I see is hate-need. I need you, and I need you, and I hate you because I need you. I hate you because you have all that power over me, but I need you, so don't leave me. There's no love. That's not love.
Basically.
Yeah. So think about that. It doesn't work. I need the pusher, but I hate their guts. God damn the pusher man. Addicts hate, they feel like, they're dependent to get their drugs from this person, and they have a lot of control over them, and they hate them for that. So it's addiction.
Mr. Bieber, I have a comment.
Yeah.
So that sort of gives me the feeling of how the person they can't be independent because they have the significant other and they just need them there for some reason. So whenever it comes down to it, they can't depart or go their own path.
Correct.
Because they're so dependent. They can't even try to become independent.
Correct. Right. And so that exposes them to abuse and neglect and disrespect and every other kind of thing like that. It's not love. And you say, well, why do you put up with that? Why do you stay with that person? And you know what they'll say? I love them.
Sometimes they say, I don't know.
Yeah, they'll say, I don't know. But it's because they can't confront the fact that they're addicted to the person. They don't want to acknowledge the dependency. Like any addict, they deny that they even have a problem. And you'll listen to them complain and say all the bad, and then they won't do anything about it. And then they'll come back later and they'll be doing the same thing. And you get tired of hearing it. So just like with any addiction, they have to hit bottom to break out of that dependency. And what the bottom is, varies. Also, when people are dependent, one thing they'd avoid is risk-taking. They don't do anything that's risky. And in this case, the risk is somehow losing the relationship. They don't want to lose it, so they don't do things that might cause losing it, such as conflict. They avoid conflict like the plague. They don't want any conflict. They don't want to upset. They don't rock the boat, keep the peace, go with the flow, all that crap. And when you don't take risks psychologically in a relationship, as you'll learn more, there is no intimacy. There is no in love. There is no passion. There's none of that. It's just boring as hell, flatline. Not good. Because to be in love with somebody requires risk. To have a roommate, you don't have to. And that's what a lot of these people are, just roommates. Oh, yeah. Well, we could do that. What time is it? We've got a few minutes. We're late. You know who those two people are?
No.
The guy is Smokey Robinson. And Smokey Robinson wrote a song back when he was in the Miracles. And the song that they're going to sing. The woman on the right is Sheryl Crow. Okay, I don't know if you know him. I can show you this, or I can show you the original. I don't know which one you want to see, but we could do this. I'm going to be playing lots of music in this class during the semester. I don't know, lots, but you know, I'm going to go to songs once in a while. And the point of that is to show you how music and lyrics program us when we don't even know it. And, you know, during different time periods. So this song came out in about 63. So I was like 13. Now, when you would listen to music in those days, you would only hear the same group of songs over and over and over and over again till it were brainwashed in your head. And, you know, no one analyzed lyrics back then. I mean, I sure as hell didn't. It's just like, you know, you sang the song, kind of, and didn't look at what it was, what the meaning was. But this song is one that definitely had a lot of programming in it that set us up for issues later. And I didn't go, well, this is Smokey Robinson's song about love addiction. But if you listen to the lyrics, it's so blatant, it's ridiculous. But no one really thought about that at the time. So I'm not just playing music to play music. The lyrics are the key. Now this, what they're doing is in front of President Obama in the White House are singing it. So that's a whole other thing. Anyway, listen to the lyrics.
Thank you. In 1964, Smokey Robinson wrote this next song, and he and the Miracles had a big hit with it. Singing it tonight, Sheryl Crow and Motown legend, Smokey Robinson.
Did you hear it? The lyrics?
Oh yeah.
But you wouldn't have known that was about addiction, but it is. Okay. Well, let's stop there. Let's do roll. Okay, I want to let you know, some people have been asking me questions about the attendance thing. First of all, I don't know on Canvas why it comes out as an assignment. I got to get rid of that. It's not an assignment. And there's no, the only reason I'm taking roll is to see who is going to, who is going to be in the class or not in the class. So, I'm not looking to do anything else in that, because if I see somebody that's not been there most of the time, then they get dropped when the census comes up, I think on the 9th of September. So I'm just looking to see who's in the class and who's not. So don't, look at it like it's like, oh my God, I'm marked absent. It's not going to be, I'm not going to drop you unless you don't come at all. So that's why I'm doing it. Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Beaver.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, I wanted to see if there was any way that you can make your Zoom meetings, because usually you have to let us in.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a way that we can just connect right away, Like I've had other classes where.
Yeah, well, that's going to change. You're right. It used to be, and they never do that. But the security thing with Zoom is going to change in a couple of weeks, and you have to do all this stuff because of it. So, we could do without it. It's not a big issue to me. I don't have to have you sit in a waiting room. That's what they said. And, and the teacher has to admit you. They're trying to get people who, rule out people who are trying to bust in and do shit to the security issues.
No, okay.
That's the reason. To me, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, because it's kind of a pain. I have to admit everybody. I didn't do that before, and just people would, be there when I turn on to it, and there you are. But I have to click all that stuff.
Got it.
Okay, so here we are. All right, Castro, last name. Kayla Anderson.
Here.
Okay. Gabriella
Here.
Azus.
Here.
Lise.
Here.
Jack.
Here.
Carmen. Carmen here? Genesis. Jordan.
Here.
Sebastian.
Here.
Alexis.
Here.
Michael.
Here.
You're here, a little slow on that. Leica.
Here.
Michael. Gordon.
Here.
Gonzalez. Yeah. Grace.
Here.
Leonardo.
Here.
Oh, Chloe. Jade.
Here.
Miko.
Here.
Aries.
Here.
Faith. Faith. Have faith. Faith. Angela.
Here.
Veronica. Lyle.
Here.
Imani. Terrell.
Here.
Maria Hernandez. Nicole Mercer. Kimberly. Gabriella Morton.
Here.
Back.
Jessica Romero. And Jordan.
Here.
Okay. Anybody's name I didn't call?
Nicole
Ileana.
Mercer.
Oh, you didn't call me as well?
Okay. Nicole, what's your last name?
Mercer.
Okay. Anyone else?
Maureen Stevens.
Okay.
You didn't get Rogelio Vargas.
A Sharp.
You marked me absent. The Maureen Stevens. Thank you.
Rogelio Vargas.
Oh, I didn't finish it. That's why. So where all these people come from? Okay. Let's see where. So Anna Sedano here.
Here.
Enrique.
Here.
K Sharp.
Here.
Maya.
Here.
Rodrigo is here. I heard him.
Yeah.
Ileana.
Here.
Sarah.
Here.
And Andriana.
I'm here.
Okay. So anybody's name that I didn't call or no? Good. All right, you guys have a great weekend and I'll see you next Monday.
Mr.
You
Bieber,
Yep.
Bye. Have a good one.
Wait, got a question. What?
I see that these meetings are being recorded. Where can we find them?
That's a good question.
I had trouble getting in this morning.
Well, everybody did because my computer was acting weird. I had to restart it and all kinds of things.
Okay.
So it shouldn't happen again. But where to find the recorded Zoom sessions? I know where they are for me. I'm not sure where they are for you. So I'm going to have to find that out. But this was definitely recorded. If you want to watch it again, or know someone else that does, have them send me an email and I could probably send them the link to it. But I don't know how you, as a student, get to them. So,
Okay.
And the earlier one, the first session of the class, I'm trying to get that out of my camera and onto my Mac so I can create it, because it didn't get recorded well the first time. But I got pieces of it, so I'm gonna have to like put them together and make a YouTube video out of it or something. But I'll do that today.
Yeah, I think you have to post it yourself because one of my other teachers are doing that as well, and she posts it on her announcements.
Post the
link.
the class recording.
Yeah.
Okay, well I can do that. That's a good idea.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So do we have any assignments for due next class?
The only assignment is to read. Learning to love yourself, because that's what you're going to be tested on. And you can read it or not read it. It's up to you.
So we're basically just kind of like reading that on our own as we go.
As you go is how you want to do it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Professor?
Yeah.
How many, do we need all three of the books?
Yes.
Okay.
If you want to do well in the class, you don't have to. But I mean, yeah, we're going to go cover every bit of those 3 books, and it's 2 midterms and a final, and it's all about what's in those books and what I teach. And
Okay.
so,
I was just making sure.
yeah. And I don't assign the book unless I know you're going to need it and use it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Adios. Bye-bye.
Have a good day, sir.
Bye.
Bye.